Hey everyone, it's Inga, and today I'm gonna be making Indian foods for 24 hours. One of the most requested 24-hour challenges we've seen in the comments, so I am very excited to finally make it happen. There's just so much variety. I'm kind of sad that I can only do very few in this 24-hour challenge, but hopefully this can get me started on the journey of exploring more within the realm of Indian cuisine. I've actually had the opportunity to travel to India before. It was just such an incredible experience. So many things I experienced for the first time, the spice market, the tuk-tuk drivers. There was just also so much food, so much amazing food. It was one of those trips for sure where I wish I had an extra stomach. I just wanted to be able to eat it all. I'll be making a lot of dishes that were either dishes that I had for the first time in India that I really loved, or things that I really wish I could try. One thing for sure, I know it's going to be an extremely flavorful journey. First off, let me go get some of these amazing spices. I have a specific store in mind. It was actually recommended to me by my friend Kanchan, who said I could buy every spice imaginable right there. So many spices, I'm a little overwhelmed. I have been in the store for 15 minutes and I'm still searching. And these are all rice cookware. The store is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Morning everyone, I am ready to get started today. What I'll be making for breakfast today is the pav bhaji. Pav means bread, whereas bhaji refers to a vegetable gravy, a specific type of bread. It's like a bread roll, almost like what we know as a dinner roll. I actually first learned about this dish from when I was producing the $1 street food around the world video. My friend Vishal introduced me to it as one of the most popular and common street foods you'll find there. I don't know if it's something about watching street food being made, it just looked super inviting. Also, I just want to say, when I went to buy this from the store owner was so kind. I told him I was trying to make pav bhaji and he actually looked through the recipe with me and then he gave this to me for free. So thank you, kind sir. Really just made my day. In terms of recipes, I will be following Chef Sanjeev Kapoor's. He is one of the most celebrated chefs in India. So I thought it would be great if we started off the day by learning from this master chef. I already have my ingredients here. There's quite a lot of stuff. We have some potatoes, a green bell pepper, some tomatoes, a lemon, cauliflower, canned tomato puree. I also have this ginger garlic paste. This is super interesting to me. I feel like over here we don't really find ginger garlic paste being sold together. Usually it's separate, but this is something that I'll be using throughout the day actually. I have this pav bhaji masala. So it says right here that it is a spice blend for vegetables, which is why I don't have to do them separately. I thought it was really interesting that the recipe actually called specifically for us to use this. Just super fragrant. I feel like I could just add this in everything. I'm just roughly chopping up my potatoes. Just gonna let them boil in here. Chop up my onion, green bell pepper, and tomatoes. I have everything cut up now. I also have a bit of green chili here. Almost forgot about that. My potatoes have been mashed. So now I'm ready to make my vegetable gravy. I'm gonna turn on the vent, it's gonna be noisy. In go my onions, just letting them cook for a little bit. I think that's looking pretty good, so I'm gonna add in ginger garlic paste. This smells more gingery than garlicky. Okay, now I just stir them together. Super, ooh, the ginger just got to my nose a little bit. I'm gonna add in my chilies here. We like spice in this household. Tomatoes. So this has been bubbling for a little bit. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna add in the pav bhaji masala. And it just smells so amazing. Really is just super garlicky, so umami. Cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, garlic, black pepper, fennel, cumin. I mean, no wonder it smells so good. Stir that in. Originally it smelled just like, you know, when you're making pasta sauce, like tomato sauce. Now you're really getting those like aromatics. It's so incredible how this instantly changes up the dish. I'm gonna add in the cauliflower. This is starting to look like the one I saw in the video. Quite a bit of potatoes. Trying to mash it in, getting quite thick. Also adding in my tomato puree. This just looks so inviting. Adding in my green peppers, coriander. We're almost there. Need a little taste. Those green chilies are really doing a lot of work here. Whoa. Butter, squeeze of lemon. This is going to be so good. This is pretty much done. Here's the other exciting part. I bought this Tawa. I bought this because I wanted to make naan bread later, but I also realized that in Chef Sanjeev Kapoor's video, he used this to toast the bread, so I thought I would try and do that too. No, paper! I have my bread that I sliced. I'm going to press it down. So I'm doing this mostly because this is what I saw the street vendor do. It's just almost like soaking up the butter. Try and do 2 here to get that like golden toasted brown. Ooh, that looks great. Amazing. I have both of these elements ready. Now I can serve them up and enjoy. It is done, my Pao Bhaji. The butter's already melted at this point. It smells so good, but it's also like a very comforting smell, I think, because of all the elements that went into there, like a vegetable-based stew. And here I just have some iced coffee. It's just instant coffee powder, milk, ice blended together. Wonderful foam on top. Yep, I needed that. So there's a couple ways of eating this. When I was talking about this Pao Bhaji with the store owner, he was comparing it to like a sloppy joe. Put it inside of the bun and enjoy it that way, or you can just dip it in. I'm gonna do both. Do like a scoop here. Just like let it soak up the sauce and just... I have to say, I love these bread bowls. They really hold up their shape and they really soak up all that flavor from the gravy, but you don't lose that chewiness, so it doesn't like instantly get soggy. If this was accessible to me all the time, I'd be in trouble because I'd probably want to eat this all the time. Here's what that looks like. I think the best thing about this too is that it's actually quite simple to make. I was also fascinated by that Pao Bhaji masala. The way it changes up the flavors in here is insane. I think something about smelling all those spices like really opened up my appetite. So I'm gonna finish this up, clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to see you guys for lunch. Coming out to buy green cardamom pods because I didn't realize that they were different from black cardamom pods. Alright, I'm back home again. I have my green cardamom pods. I'm also realizing now that I've opened it and smelled it, this is actually the cardamom that we're familiar with. Inside these little green pods, we have these cardamom seeds. This is just me, by the way, learning more about cardamom for lunch today. I wanted to do one of my favorite things that I had when I was in India, which is butter chicken. I think it was also probably like one of my first meals when I got there, and it was served with like a side of naan. So actually I'll be making 2 things for lunch, both the butter chicken and I'll be attempting to make naan bread from scratch. If I can successfully do it, I'm gonna be the happiest person in the world because naan bread is one of my favorite breads in the world. Let's get to it. I am going to start off with the butter chicken, and the first step for that is actually to make the curry. And here's what I have for that. Some diced tomatoes here, some onions, some butter, some cashew nuts, and over here I just have a bunch of spices. Cinnamon stick, both black cardamom and green cardamom. Black cardamom, it has more of like an intense smoky flavor. They are not the same, which is why I had to make sure I had both. I also have some cloves, a bay leaf, some garlic and ginger. The recipe I'm following is Chef Kunal Kapur's, which I thought was super helpful in helping me understand the different components that go into butter chicken. I really liked how he broke it down. Add in some water, add in the tomatoes, the onions now. I am also realizing that because I'm using canned diced tomatoes, it is a little more liquidy than expected. I think we should be okay. Add all our spices. Look at that. It's like an assortment of treasures. I'm gonna add in the butter as well. I forgot to introduce this earlier, but I have this Kashmiri red chili powder, which chef specifically said we should use because it has that like distinct bright red color. Instead of a tablespoonful, and I went like giant tablespoonful. All right, I'm just gonna sprinkle some, and we'll save the rest for later. Give that a good mix. It smells really good, but I'm also very confused. I think because I usually associate cardamom with like something sweet. Now I'm just gonna add in the cashews as well and cover it up. In the meantime, I'm gonna get started on the chicken. Just opted for boneless chicken since it was recommended. He does this thing called first marination. Some salt, ginger garlic paste from earlier, squeeze of lemon. Whoops, no lemon seeds. It's a juicy lemon. Then I'm just going to go in with my hands and give it a massage. The ginger definitely helps cut through the gaminess of the chicken. This is pretty much done. Let it marinate. Let the flavor seep in. In my other bowl here, I'm gonna get started on the second marinade. I love this like multiple marinating process. A lot more flavors to enjoy. I'm using this mustard seed oil, which has this like, gosh, look at that color. Now I'm gonna add in this special chili powder. Look at how that like really changes up the color. It's like bright red. This is what's going to help give it that color later. Next thing I'm adding is some hung yogurt or hung curd. And I was really confused at first. I couldn't find it at the grocery store, but I looked it up, and essentially hung yogurt is just yogurt that has been drained using like a cheesecloth. So then the excess water drains out and all you have left is that like really creamy consistency. And I just let that drain in the fridge overnight until I ended up with this. Right now the consistency is almost like Greek yogurt. Ooh, okay, but the colors going on in here is wild. I am all about this texture right now. And a little bit of salt and some more lemon. I'm really into this like lemon chili yogurt combo. Still smell the mustard, and I smell the tanginess from the lemon. I'm just grabbing my chicken, squeezing out any excess water. There you go. Mix them all together. Lots of massaging going on today. All right. That mustard seed oil is a game changer. So this is done. This is that wonderful color I was talking about from that chili. I'm gonna let this rest for a little bit. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Back here to check on my chicken. Ooh, it's hot. Gosh, I almost burnt my hand. Ooh, what this looks like right now. Everything has kind of softened. Again, I'm getting that sort of like cardamom clove scent. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in a jar and we're gonna blend it up. If I plug this in, that was embarrassing. I'm gonna go ahead and strain this now because there's still some bits in here and I wanna make sure it's smooth. If you look at what's left in the strainer, I think these are all like the cinnamon bits. Oh, whoa, spicy, sweet. It's the spiciness from like, you know, the cloves and the cinnamon as well. I'm gonna go back now and finish up this sauce. I'm gonna add in my butter, toss in more chili, a little bit of ginger. And here we go. Adding in my lovely sauce. Look at that, it is really coming together. Just looking at it, you can tell just how creamy it is. So I'm gonna let this slowly cook on the side while I fry up my chicken. It's gonna let it cook just like this. Flip it one time and then we're done. It's looking good though. Chicken. I have my chicken. All right, smells so good. Before I combine it with the gravy, I'm actually gonna go back to my naan, which I actually started a couple hours ago today. The recipe I'm following is from Manjula's kitchen. I just love her approach. She just reminds me of like my grandma. So let me just cut back to how I started a couple hours ago. Flour in here, doubling the amounts because one, I want to eat more, and two, it's just in case I fail. Baking soda, sugar, salt. And I'm just adding in some oil. Add the yogurt and the water slowly, and then eventually knead it until it forms a dough. I really want this to work. According to Manjula, the more I knead it, the better the naan will be, so I definitely did that for a while. Made sure that it wasn't sticking to my fingers, that it was still soft and smooth. Then I just let it proof. Here I am right now with my dough. It does feel super soft. Gotta love dough. It actually smells like naan bread already. When I was in Delhi, I was just so curious about the naan making process. I actually went to where the chef was making naan and asked if I could make it with him, if he could teach me.
I know how to make dumplings, but I can't do this.
And I made one and it looked so terrible, but I was just so proud because it was the first ever naan I made. One day I'll get to that level. Very happy with this dough actually. Wow, it is like pillowy soft. I'm just going to divide this up. So Manjula did say we don't want to roll it in our hands. We're supposed to do this movement here. You're rolling it down like this. I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna cover that up. I'm going to start working on the garnishes, softened butter, chilies, salt, some cilantro. All right, the dough has been rested, so now I'm actually just going to roll this out, pretending I'm making scallion pancakes. I think it helps when I just try to draw reference from things I know. Okay, I have this. Now we get to the tricky part. I am actually extremely nervous right now. I have my tawa, putting it over the flames, and a little bit of water. Whoa, okay, it is hot. Okay, I get it. I'm gonna add some water on this side. This side with the water, I'm going to now put it on the tawa. Ooh. So right now it's on there. I don't want it too hot because you're, ooh, okay. Oh my gosh. I feel the goosebumps coming already. Okay, I'm going to flip this pan around. That moisture it had before will help it stay glued or stuck to the pan. Whoa, okay, it dropped. Number one is a fail. But I guess mine was too dry already. It does look good. It just isn't what I need. So let's try that again. Don't fall. No! Let me try that again. Expand, y'all. Oh my god. Stay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nice. Ooh. Some like outer space kind of stuff. It had so much potential. Don't let it fall. Oh my god, this was so pretty. Okay. There we go. I have my little stack of naan here. I feel like you can see them progressively getting better. I think this last one I made is the closest to a naan with that beautiful air bubble because this one actually stuck to the tawa. I'm just gonna finish up my butter chicken and I can finally eat. It's just the final seasoning. Adding in some fenugreek leaves, which I have not worked with before. Sweet nutty flavor that's slightly bitter, almost like slightly medicinal. A bit of sugar and salt, cream as well. Oh my gosh, I just want to eat. Oh my back. I'll add in my chicken. I'm just gonna bring it to a boil and then I'm gonna serve it up with a little bit of cream and coriander. Finally sitting down now. Lunch took way longer than expected, but I am pretty proud. Really, it was like practice makes perfect. Now I have these beautiful pieces. I am also really hungry. This butter chicken looks so good. I also made a mango lassi. I just wanted to treat myself a little bit. Tear off this naan here. Ooh. Actually not bad. The dough is still chewy. It's like slightly crispy on the outside. The flavor is really good. Hold on, let me just get a huge spoonful here. I'm just using my naan bread as a spoon. This butter chicken is definitely on the sweeter side. Okay, I just added green chili on top of my naan. Oh, my throat. I feel like I could eat so much. And I just love the idea of just dipping it. Chicken now has that flavor from when we were pan frying it in the cast iron. Kind of that like juiciness. I'm so happy about this naan bread. Ooh, that air bubble. So I'm gonna take a break now and then I'll see you guys for the next meal. And we're back. It is dinner time. I am going to make some chicken biryani. This is one of those dishes that I had when I was in Delhi, and I just remember this huge plate of rice with like chicken underneath. And so today I am going to see if I can accomplish that using the recipe from Vahchef. Chicken biryani, from what I understand, is a mixed rice dish that has meat in it, different kinds of spices, and of course some rice, slow cooked together. And that's when we start this process called dum cooking. For that process, I have actually gone ahead and bought this pot. It has this like unique shape to it. and it actually has like quite a heavy bottom to make sure that, you know, it doesn't like just burn. It's a little small, so I guess that means good portion control. I'm very curious to see how it works. The first thing I have to do is actually marinate the chicken. I actually did this last night because it needs to marinate overnight. I had a bunch of spices: cardamom, cloves, star anise, bay leaf, maize, ful, shahi jeera. I just blended them together, put that in the chicken, and added in the rest of my ingredients like coriander powder, cumin powder, red chili powder. It was like spice galore. There were so many things. Also turmeric, and then I also added in some yogurt and more herbs, fresh coriander, fresh mint, and green chilies to really make it spicy. Then I'm just going in there again to mix everything up, giving it a good massage, and then I just popped it in the fridge overnight until today, where I have my chicken. There's so much in here. This is going to be incredible. Let me just show you the other stuff I need. I have some ghee here. It adds like great aroma and flavor. Some rose water, some Cara water. So I learned from Chef that Cara water is actually made from the same family as pandan leaves. It is very floral. I also have some basmati rice, which I have already soaked. And I have shahi jeera here. It is also known as black caraway seed. It smells like cumin, but like milder and sweeter. Some bay leaf. I have some saffron as well, and some onions. The first thing I'm gonna do is actually start cooking up my rice. Also in the meantime, I'm going to fry up my onions, just adding in some cornstarch. Deep frying on the left here, boiling on this side. Let's just see which one heats up first. There we go. Smells really good. Making sure it gets to golden brown. Over here, I'm just gonna season my water. In Chinese cuisine, we just eat steamed rice straight without any flavoring, but Chef did say that this part is really crucial. You need to make sure rice is seasoned, and you need to taste the water. See if I added enough here. I totally did not add enough salt, so more salt. I'm gonna add some shahi jeera, a bay leaf. This is pretty well seasoned now. Onions are looking good. Onions are done now, so I'm gonna set that aside. All right, so I'm gonna let this cook. Going to get started on the chicken. I'm gonna add this now into the pot. Spread a layer of chicken at the bottom. So we have the bottom layer. Before it's cooked through, put it right on top of the chicken here. There we go. Adding it on here like that. I'm gonna put some of this onion on top. Adding my saffron to some hot milk. This is what my saffron looks like now. It's beautiful yellow color. It's expensive, so I want to make sure I get every strand here. Adding in my ghee. Ooh. This is gonna be good. Sprinkle of this rose water. Now what I have to do is actually line my lid here with dough. It's like very sticky, soft dough, so I can seal it shut. Press it on here. Just press down. Just turn on the heat, let it cook on high heat for a little bit. Then I'm gonna turn down the heat. My biryani is still cooking, but I'm going to put this underneath my pot here, because that helps to create an even spread of heat. Now back to waiting. I think it's done. It's been sitting for a while now. Gosh, this smells so nice. So this is what the cover looks like now. It has served its purpose. Thank you, dough. I just wanna see what that looks like. Oh yeah, okay, it is. Rice is fluffy. So my chicken is down here. I haven't even started eating it, but I can already smell all the flavor that's going in here. All right, so I'm gonna plate this up, and then dinner time. Chicken biryani is done, and this is what it looks like. I feel like I should have been a little more generous with the onions and the saffron and the milk to give it more of that like yellowish color, but this smells like what I remember. I wanted to try eating with my hands, but I could not do it successfully just now. I'm gonna go ahead with a spoon this time. The chicken is super flavorful. I'm not super surprised. There was at least like 10 different spices that went into the chicken, and also like letting it marinate overnight really did it a favor. It's really just like so tender. Don't even have to apply too much pressure, and it's already like falling apart. It's still retaining so much of its moisture. The rice, I have to say, this is why Chef said it was so important to season it beforehand, because every bite you get a lot of that flavor rather than just relying on the chicken. Honestly, I was just eating the rice by itself just now. This is definitely one of those that I'm looking forward to perfecting. I also still have quite a bit left, so I'll be eating this tomorrow as well. It's been a long day of cooking, so I kind of just want to sit down and relax with a cup of tea. It's usually how I wind down. I bought this chai masala mix. It has white and black peppercorn in addition to like cloves, cinnamon, ginger, fennel, cardamom. All I have to do now is actually grind all of this up. I do drink chai a good bit at home. The way I'm making mine now is really just based off of the package instructions. I'm just gonna add in some water and some milk. A little bit of this powder. I'm just going to heat this up. Just waiting for it to come to a boil. I already have my tea here, some black tea. The best chai I've ever had was from one of the street vendors there in Delhi. He was just selling them in like these small cups, but it was just so creamy, so smooth. I drank like 3 in a row. Ooh, okay, it's boiling. Stir and let it steep. And then my tea should be done. Very looking forward to it. I also added in a tablespoon of sugar in here. Gosh, this really is the perfect way to end the day. Oh, today was really quite the journey. I feel like I tried cooking with a lot of new ingredients. I also tested out new cooking methods. I'm definitely excited to continue exploring more. But also, if you have any tips for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. It is a learning process for me. Thank you again for coming on this 24-hour cooking journey with me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!